Welcome to the Zaxby's Coaches Show, brought to you by First Bank, Wilkinson, Chevy, Cadillac, Buick, GMC, and Zaxby's Friends, Family, Flavor. With your host, Chris Delambert, only on the NFHS Network, brought to you by New Image Media.
Welcome to the Zaxby's Coaches Show. I'm Chris Delambert, and to kick things off with me, my old friend, Hector. How are you, sir?
It's Monday. The sunset's coming. It's been a day,
But
but it feels good.
The best thing about hanging out with you, man, is I never know what kind of look you're rocking. You go from hair all over the place, facial hair, maybe not. Sometimes a suit, sometimes a T-shirt. It's tough to keep up with.
You got to feel different every day, otherwise you get stuck in a pattern.
Hector, you are all things marketing, Zaxby's here throughout the region. Talk to me about what's going on with you guys.
Oh, man. Actually, now that I have you, if you want to come by for some free food, Wednesday, September 15th, we're going to be doing an event at our store with the radio station WKML 97.5. We're going to be giving away 95 Big Zax snacks to the first 95 people that come, starting at 12 o'clock.
What?
And then from there, until we're done with the 95, we're done in the 95, so come get a Big Zax snack if you want one at the Sanford store.
All right, wait, let me make sure I got this. Let me make sure I have the details. September 15th.
September 15th.
Beginning at what time?
12 o'clock.
12 o'clock noon, September 15th. Free chicken to the first 95 people.
Yes, sir.
That come through the drive-through, come into the restaurant, or any combination of the. What do they have to do? They have to come inside? They have to go through the drive-through? What's the situation?
My bad. 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. I had to make
Scratch
sure.
all of that.
So I had to make sure.
September 15th,
sure, so
1 p.m.
Yes.
1 o'clock.
1 p.m.
Free food for the first 95 people that go through the drive-through?
Yeah, they can. It's for a Big Zax snack, but
All
it's
right.
for the full Big Zax snack. You get 3 fingers, Zax sauce, fries, toast, and a drink.
3 fingers, fries, toast, sauce. The first 95 people on September 15th, that's Wednesday.
That's Wednesday.
2 days from right now, 1 o'clock, it kicks off. That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, we're excited
Sadly,
to have.
I will be about 50 miles from here, but that's okay.
Hey, that's okay. Hey, for somebody that wants to take Chris's place, there you go. You got an open spot.
All right, very good. So that's really cool. How did this come about?
So we've actually been doing this for a couple years now with the WKML group. We started the partnership with them, and we wanted to do something to get the community involved and give back to the community. Before it was actually called the Helping Handshake. COVID happened, can't do that anymore. So Helping Hand is where we ended up at, and it's been received pretty well so far. And more than anything, with everything that's happened, we want to be able to give back to the community, just let them know that we'll be there for them.
All right, very
and
cool.
95 Big Zax snacks is the best way we can do it.
Very good. Wednesday, September 15th, beginning at 1 o'clock, free Zax snacks, the first 95 people that come through. I'm excited about that, even though I don't get to be down there.
We'll have another one. I think the last one we have is at Whiteville. And
Okay.
that's going to be happening September 24th.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Very
So
good.
look forward to it.
All right, well, thanks for the free food.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
And thanks for all of the support that you give local sports in the region. We've been doing this. This is 10 years, I think, for me. We couldn't do it without the help of sponsors like yourselves and the folks at Zaxby's. So really, truly, thank you for everything. Now, are you going to get downtown Friday and Saturday for Indy Fest?
I just saw that, and I was like, how did I not hear about it? I'm going to go. I'm going to go.
Fantastic.
I have something to do now for the weekend.
Perfect.
I've never heard about it, but you know what? Tell me a little bit about it. What's
So
going on?
40 acts across a couple of stages, downtown Sanford, free admission.
Okay.
There'll be food trucks out there. There'll be the local restaurants and everything will be open up to the public. It's going to be fantastic. It should be a great day. Going to be an all-day affair. It kicks off at noon both days, the 18th and 19th. So if you don't have plans, head out to Sanford, downtown. I like to think I did the very first one of these, but they've taken it to whole new heights. 40 bands, 3 different stages in the downtown area. It's going to be fantastic. Lots of different artists, different genres, live music. Can't go wrong.
Oh, no, you can't. Hey, I'm excited now.
It's fantastic. All right. Anything else you want to add?
Nothing other than that. Other than thank you for having me. And growing up here, it's glad to give back.
Fantastic. I'm Chris. I'll see you on the other side of the break.
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world. of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce, because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
Pentair, empowering people to move water, improve water, enjoy water, so that people can live their best, healthiest lives. Lives with purpose, lives with enjoyment, lives that flourish, lives with hope. Because at Pentair, we're not just about better water. We're about better life. Pentair, bringing water to life, for life.
Welcome back to the Zaxby's Coaches Show. I'm Chris Delambert, and with me, Coach Steve Burdeau.
Yes, sir.
How are you, sir?
Doing well. Thanks for having me as always.
I mean, it's your show, so thanks for having me. Let me do this, I guess. So let's get right into the game. You guys, Fuquay this past weekend, I was glad we were going out there. We initially weren't going to do that game. Of course, Southern's got postponed. We showed up out there. I knew it was only the second game being played in that new stadium there in Fuquay. Beautiful facility. And I got to say, man, their uniform game set a bar pretty high. And I know you know the head coach at Fuquay, but, man, those uniforms were dope.
Yeah,
I was digging them.
Coach Hall's doing a really good job there. Has done. I think he's been there about 20 years now. 10 years probably as a coordinator, 10 years about as a head coach. Really good guy, and obviously it shows not just how good the uniforms look, but how well they play. He's a first-class guy. But I was very impressed with the whole layout of the school. That school is humongous.
Yeah.
He told me it was the biggest square footage school in North Carolina.
Really?
So I had to quote him on that one. But
wow.
It definitely I believe it. It looked like it.
Well, beautiful facility, and I didn't get a chance to tour the school or go inside, but outside the facade looked beautiful. The football stadium, beautiful, pristine, great surface. You said there was no air conditioner in the field house, though.
Yeah, he mentioned that. So hopefully they work on that for him. Brand new, nice building, and hopefully they can get them some AC in that thing, because they're playing some really good football, and they had the stands packed. So,
they did. It was a good crowd, and the crowd was engaged. They wanted it bad. New stadium, undefeated, came in 3-0, looking good, and they ran up into a buzzsaw.
Definitely. I was very proud of how our boys responded, because they actually scored on us first. We moved the ball back and forth a couple of times, weren't able to finish the drive, and defensively I thought we had them stop. So they popped one big play on us, and then we were able to respond. I was very proud of how the boys did respond to that, because it a big tough game. We knew it was going to be a physical game. We knew they were just going to be a 3 or 4 yard a play type team. And they sprung one big one on us, and after that, kind of locked them back in.
So I'm interested, not having access to a lot of tape, no stats available for Fuquay. They're one of those top secret teams, keeps everything on lockdown. It was interesting because their roster that we had access to, players were misassigned positions, and it was almost like it was on purpose. Some schools play games with that. But in what you had seen, certainly they're a methodical offense, but do you think that they took the air out of the ball even more playing against you guys?
Maybe so. And coaching against Coach Hall in the past, I think that's something that he definitely wants to, 3 or 4 yards of play, drain the clock, play really good defense, not let any big plays happen. That's their game. They win the 21-14, the 17-14 type games. You don't see too many teams score 30, 40 points against them just because they're going to be very well prepared, and they're not just going to let big plays.
No, it's almost rare. It's almost fair to say rare to see teams huddle up every snap.
Yeah.
And those guys not only huddled up, the quarterback walked to the sideline to get the play. And I can't tell you, I can't remember a team that did that an entire game, especially with their starting quarterback.
Right.
Sometimes you see somebody in an emergency spot, whatever, that they communicate more, but that seemed to be standard practice. They were going to walk those plays in, and they got everything they could out of the play clock. Now, you said you couldn't you stopped them consistently all night. Into the fourth quarter, the end of the game, they started to move the ball with some consistency. That fullback run into the middle, good hard runner. Good ball player. But there was something I wanted to ask you about specifically that hamstrung a couple of your drives. I should have told you this off air because you're going to be like, why are you talking about something as inane as this? I don't believe I've ever seen a team get flagged 3 times in one game for an ineligible receiver downfield. 3 times the same call, and it was on different guys in different type plays. Was it being called more tightly than normal? Was it due to something in the scheme? What was going on with that from your perspective?
From my perspective, I have never had that play called more than once in a game, and maybe in my coaching career, maybe haven't had it called 3 times. So I think it was very tightly called. The rule is the extended neutral zone. So from the line of scrimmage to where the D lineman's feet are, you can extend 2 yards. And the rule is if an offensive lineman or somebody that's ineligible, a receiver that can't go downfield, goes more than that downfield, clearly is in the rule. It's where it says clearly, they throw a flag. And it's supposed to be at the point of which the quarterback throws the ball. So all those variables come into play. I know it's a difficult call for officials. It's just interesting that it kept being called.
It did. It was.
I don't know how clearly some things, but.
And on the fly, I wondered if there was something I wasn't seeing, and it would have been one thing had it been the same young man getting called. Right. But it was spread around, and that was just an interesting little wrinkle. So you guys in the first half, you ended the half on a big play, virtually the last play of the first half. Aaron Wallace was with us last week, said, I am the fastest guy on the team. And I kind of laughed at that, and I'm like, I love that he's puffing up like that. I believe him now because with 6.5 seconds to go in the half, you guys hit a little screen pass to him, and he had about 6 defenders between him and the goal line, and he ran past them. And as that play unfolded, I think I said if he gets a step, but I really didn't think he was going to outrun everybody, and nobody got anywhere near him.
When he caught the ball, and we were setting up a tunnel on that little play, as soon as I knew when he got through that, he might score. And it was a 54-yard touchdown, I believe. Once he got 2 yards, knowing his speed and just seeing where everybody else was at, I knew it was going to be very difficult for somebody to tackle him. It worked out well. Offensive lineman got there, made a block, and kicked out the little overhang safety guy they had. There was nobody else there.
On the first touchdown, you guys got a contribution in the passing game from somebody that didn't get a lot of looks. And everybody, the radio asked, who was it that caught that? Jaden Pearson. With a huge catch down the sideline. We didn't know if he'd come up with the ball until he kind of rolled over and he got it. Were you surprised that a young man like that made a big play in a spot like that?
I'm not. Jalen's a senior. He works his butt off. We worked last week. We worked scramble drill, so we worked really that exact situation. I'm working across the field. Quarterback rolls out this way. I'm going to work deep the opposite direction. If I was going, he was running the post. He turned into a corner out, and he did the drill. Will made a great throw on the move. I'm glad we worked that drill last week. We mix that in at least a 5-minute period every week, and we'll keep doing that.
Speaking of Will, senior quarterback Will Patterson, the spotlight stays on him right now. Locally, everybody sort of says, you're going to go as far as Will takes you. The first half was a little disjointed because there were a handful of penalties that were on completed passes and incompleted passes. And I thought at the end of the first half, I was like, Will's playing pretty well. And then I looked at the stat line, and he was perfect. 14 of 14 for 177. And I scratched my head, and I'm like, it can't possibly be right. Did you realize he was without a completion through the first half?
Not in the first half. I didn't realize that until same thing. I see the stats afterwards to start watching film. We took a sack one point we didn't want to, but the thing that Will does a really good job of, and hopefully he's got to continue doing a really good job of, is protecting the football. So in situations where he might be able to force something in there and it might have a 1% catch probability, he's not going to make that throw. He might try to run and get 2 yards, and sometimes we might take a sack that maybe we shouldn't have, but he's not going to force a ball into a bad situation.
Knowing what you all's goals are this year and how important Patterson's play is to the team, grade him up to now. Give me a letter grade.
For this season, I think Will is playing a solid B+. And I say that because I still think there's still room to grow. And I think that Will is a heck of a competitor, and he wants to get better. So if I said he was an A+ right now, we can't do that. So he's got room to grow.
All right, what part of his game do you think leaves the greatest room for growth right now?
I still think going through, I won't say a full progression because he does understand what's going on, but from when teams are bringing pressure, being able to pick them apart and replacing that pressure sometimes. and being willing to take the little 3-yard pass and let it turn into something. And instead of, he's got a really, really big arm. He can sling the ball around the field, and sometimes he might wait for that deep ball to come before he can take the little 5-yard that gets his 10 play. So he's getting better at that. We worked the drill today in practice for it, so I expect to see it Friday.
Gotcha. On the other side of the ball, defense faced with the challenge anytime you play a triple option team. This is a particularly well-coached team with athletes all over the place. They brought motion virtually every snap. They ran, for lack of a better word, a lot of gimmicks coming out of timeouts in particular. One of those hit for a 54-yard touchdown. But other than that, you guys kept everything bottled up, did a good job of sealing the edge with the exception of the one play. And that looked to me to be the first time they ran a legit misdirection where they had backs crossfiring out of the backfield, hit the guy in motion, and somebody got lost over there on the edge.
Yeah, a couple guys got lost on it. That was disappointing because I feel like we had a shutout if we stopped that one play.
I agree.
And we watched it in film today, and I made sure they know that because that's something we repped over and over. And I think they should run that play a lot more. It's a really good play because it puts the defensive, the linebackers in a bind. They see flow going one way. We read guards. We go back the other direction. So guys were a little aggressive trying to go to cover the sweep instead of doing their responsibilities. And a good team makes a good play.
Well, we saw the same type of action later in the game, and you guys played it much better. The guy that I want to talk about on defense is Landon Johnson. And Landon's always easy to pick out from the booth. He's easy to pick out on film because he stands 6'6".
Yeah.
And I told you earlier, for my money, Landon played as dominant a game as he's played at Lee County that I've seen. And there were times where he was beyond disruptive, almost unblockable.
Yeah, I think Landon does that every day. You know what I'm saying? Landon really loves playing football. And I think he's a really, really smart kid. He understands when we talk about watching film and understanding what the next play is going to happen. You know, if we call in a certain defense, he understands why we're calling it. You know, so he understands not it's his responsibility, but he understands why this thing's happening. So I think that helps him play at the next level.
Well, great game by the defense all around. On offense, I looked back after the game and I was like, man, if Coach hears this, I hope he doesn't think I'm being critical. When you guys got the ball back with 7 minutes left after you stopped them on fourth and a couple, I thought for sure you were going heavy in the backfield and run the clock out. And you guys didn't. And what you were doing was working, and it was penalties that ended up getting you off schedule. You ended up punting it back, holding them, and then that next time with about 3.5, you brought TJ and JoJo out there, and it was ball game. And I felt like at some point, really in the second half, I could see it coming, that they were getting worn out on defense. You guys had a size advantage anyway, and at some point we knew you were going to go heavy and just kind of put the brakes on. Did you have any doubt in your mind that when you ran that package late in the game that they wouldn't be able to do anything with it?
I told the boys, I think at one point they called a timeout during that series. I told them this drive ends in two ways. It ends in either the clock hits 0 or we score a touchdown. That was the only 2 options. So I was confident it was going to work. I thought we had them right where we needed to be. The offensive line played a lot better in the second half. And those big boys are tough to tackle late.
All right. Very good. We'll take a quick break. You're watching the Zaxby's Coaches Show. We'll come back on the other side, give out some hardware.
WilkinsonCars.com. Come visit us at our new location in Sanford. With the same great staff and the same great service. Test drive one of our many different vehicles. Check out our state-of-the-art service department and collision center, where our team can have you back on the road in no time. We're right across from Walmart at 3335 North Carolina 87 South. Schedule your appointment online at WilkinsonCars.com or call us at 919-842-3322. We guarantee we're the place to be at Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Lamco Homes. From concept to design. Constructed to fit your lifestyle. We use only top quality finishes to make our house your home. Lamco Homes. Our standards are others' options.
All right, welcome back to the Zaxby's Coaches Show. Coach, you got your players of the week on offense and defense. Roll them out.
All right, so offensive player of the week this week is Kenyon Palmer. Kenyon is a senior and a guy that keeps popping up here. I feel like he's been a couple times. Actually, Kenyon is actually the Scholar Athlete of the Week. I actually jumped ahead of him. But Kenyon could have also been the offensive player of the week this week. He's he had a couple big plays, also had a pick that kind of sealed the game for us. But Kenyon's a great dude. Senior. Darion Jennings, number 22 for us here, is a junior. He was the defensive player of the week for us. And same thing as KP, Darion could have probably been the offense or defensive player of the week. He scored 2 touchdowns and was just causing trouble for them all game as he's playing defense. Troublemaker.
Good job.
All right, Michelle, we haven't had anybody from First Bank here in a couple weeks. Congratulations on making it out here.
Thank you. It's good to be here with you.
Likewise. What's going on with First Bank?
Well, we are finished with PPP forgiveness loans. We've been busy. We're still promoting our First at Work accounts, which are a great account for businesses, free to the employees. And we're working on business bundles and doing great.
So pretty much any banking needs I have, you have a solution, right?
Absolutely, we do.
Love it.
Yes.
All right, for all your banking needs, use local banks. We don't need these gigantic banks, nationally run, international conglomerates. Local banks are where it's at, right?
Absolutely, and we're here for you 24/7.
Very good. If you have any banking needs at all, check out First Bank. They'll solve all your problems.
Absolutely.
All right, JoJo, in the fourth quarter, man, I think that it's not even fair you running the ball in the fourth quarter. I think that the district ought to put in a rule that says, no, in the fourth quarter, you have to get all your touches before the third quarter. Do you have any idea how much fun it is from the booth to watch you in the fourth quarter and watch defensive backs pretend to try to tackle you?
I mean, I bet it's pretty fun.
Is it as much fun as running the ball, watching those guys pretend to try to tackle you?
It is.
Got it. Kenyon, is your favorite part of playing cornerback the fact that you play cornerback for Lee County and you don't have to tackle this dude in the fourth quarter?
I mean, it's not hard to get him down, but yeah.
I love it. I love it. So you're playing a lot more defense this year.
Yes,
How do you feel about that? If you had your druthers, would you play every snap of defense or every snap of offense if you had to choose one?
I choose offense. That's what I love. But
What's your best route? We see a lot of screens out of you, but I got a feeling I know the answer is different than that.
if it's not a hitch and go, it's got to be a post.
Got it. I thought that might be the answer. Coach, you got some heck of ball players right here.
Yeah, some great kids, some great dudes. They're great leaders on our team. They play in all three phases of the game and continue to be good leaders for the rest of the guys to follow. That's what we're the most proud of them for.
All right, what'd you guys think of those uniforms? were you as hyped about Fuquay's uniforms as I was? Tell the truth. Those were some cool helmets, right?
I mean, I didn't know what the uniforms looked like until I got there.
I didn't either. I was pretty impressed. Well, great game. You guys ready for Union Pines this week?
Yes, sir.
All right, very good. Home this week, right?
We're home.
Fantastic.
We're home.
Tell us about tickets this weekend.
So tickets will be on GoFan. So if you go GoFan.com, type in Lee County, it'll be up there. Our whole season is already up there, so you can go ahead and pre-order tickets if you want to get ahead of the game. Kickoff will be at 7:30. We're doing a military appreciation night as well as youth football night. So anybody that comes that's in one of the local youth leagues or middle school team, wears their jersey, they get into the game, and we'll announce them, recognize them. So
all right,
it'll be a fun
Union
night.
Pines, I imagine they'll travel pretty well. Like to get a good home crowd out there. This will be the beginning of conference play in the brand new conference, and kind of watching the scores around the state, around the region, in the conference. Kind of wild stuff going on, isn't it?
Every week, you look at it, and a couple big wins by our conference and a couple games sometimes like, all right, where does everybody fit in at? So we're still trying to figure some stuff out.
So you've got a scoop. We had been told that, obviously, Southern didn't play this week.
Mm-hmm.
We thought that their game was canceled against Richmond. However, that's not the case, right?
So we are adjusting our schedule against Richmond to play on the Saturday morning. I don't even know what the date is. We were going to play them on Friday night. We're going to play them Saturday morning. So Southern can now play them that Tuesday. The rule by the state is you have to have at least 3 days in between games. So that allows them to make up that game and allows Richmond to make up that game.
All right. So if you're putting your calendars together, keep in mind that you guys have pushed to Saturday morning for the Richmond game, but Southern will be playing Richmond after all.
Yep.
Very good. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with The offensive player of the week.
The offensive player of the week.
Yeah, we got that
we
backwards,
get
but it's all wonderful. Any of you guys could have been scholar athlete or players of the week on either side of the ball, so it all worked out. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
90 years ago, First Bank was founded. You know First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. Hi, I'm David Fashee, and we are First Bank.
WilkinsonCars.com. Come visit us at our new location in Sanford. With the same great staff and the same great service. Test drive one of our many different vehicles. Check out our state-of-the-art service department and collision center, where our team can have you back on the road in no time. We're right across from Walmart at 3335 North Carolina 87 South. Schedule your appointment online at WilkinsonCars.com or call us at 919-842-3322. We guarantee we're the place to be at Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
All right, welcome back to the Zaxby's Coaches Show. All these years doing this, and it was your fault, not mine.
it was.
We got our trophies mixed up. Yeah. So now for the Lamco Scholar Athlete of the Week presentation, we actually have the Offensive Player of the Game.
It is. So Offensive Player of the Game this week is Wyatt Rickard. Wyatt plays guard for us, gets in, it does a little bit on special teams with punting the field goal team, and just a nasty dude. Nobody wants to see him when he comes pulling at them. Nobody wants to see him when he gets his hands on somebody. Wyatt is an intense guy, works his butt off, and continues to help lead our offensive line.
Wyatt, what do you think you do best from the guard position?
Put people on the ground.
All right.
Hit them, you know what I mean?
If every play, if you guys were going to call one play all day, would you prefer to run block or pass block?
Run block.
Of course.
Run block.
I like that.
All day. Power right, especially power right.
Yeah.
We have Tyler, Braden, and me on that one side. That's about it's a lot of meat. It's a lot of meat.
Tyler's a gigantic young man.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't have to feed him. I want to talk about Coach Santiago.
Sorry.
Coach Santiago, a good friend of mine. Tell me what he's like in the offensive line room.
Intense. Very, very, I would say he brings a lot of his military background to the football field in a good way, where he's really intense, really loud, really drill it into your head, your assignment, and it's just, I wouldn't want any other offensive line coach.
That's high praise. That's high praise. Coach, any more words?
So I think a good word example for Coach Santiago and for Wyatt, they're both very passionate. They're both very passionate, and they're both hardworking dudes. Wyatt's another guy that also is a multi-sport athlete. Triple sports, right? Triple. You got,
yes, sir.
Track guy, throwing the shot and disc, wrestling, and a football. So another guy with JoJo and KP. All these multi-sport guys. We got to keep that thing rolling in Lee County.
Very good. We'll take one last break. We'll be back to put a bow on this. You're watching the Zaxby's Coaches Show.
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce, because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
Welcome back to the final segment of the Zaxby's Coaches Show. Coach, Union Pines this week, a familiar opponent, different head coach out there. What's changed with the departure of Coach Cox and the new staff that's come in?
Yeah, I think they were much more of a pass-based offense with Coach Cox, and I think they're very much more run-based right now. They're still very similar on defense. They've done a decent job. First two games they didn't let many points. Last week team got them a little bit. So they've been pretty solid defensively, but they're running the rock. The Biggs kid that was playing and had like 400 catches last year or something like that is now playing a lot of running back. They still spread him out a little bit to give him the ball, but he's touching the ball a lot.
This is a team you're going to go in with a decided size advantage. They're going to have a lot of guys playing both ways, but it's a team that is going, I'm sure, to try to create broken field situations because they do have some athletes led by Biggs. I'm interested to see what they bring, but how do you prevent a letdown after being preparing for the opponents the last couple weeks in a game where you're going to be a decided favorite and everybody knows it?
Yeah, I think any week our goal is always to fix us and for us to be better on the end of the game Friday than we were on the Monday. And if we did that, we got a chance to keep playing throughout the season. So really, we don't necessarily focus as much on who we're playing; it's more how we play. That's what we preach all the time, and that doesn't matter if the team's going to win 16 games this year or whatever. We're gonna prepare that same mentality.
All right, last question. I know you watched the tape. We watch from above, and obviously don't have the level of detail that you do. But it seems like in the running game, you guys are this close to breaking out. We watched B.J. Brown the other night, and he's a dynamic back, probably the most complete back that we've seen in the last 4 or 5 years at Lee County. Not the fastest, not the biggest, not the strongest, not the quickest, but excellent in all those categories. And in the hole, he is that close running between the tackles from getting out of there. Is this the week that he just blows up and has a big game?
I sure hope so. BJ is getting better and better every week. He's still a very young football player. Got to play 1 game this spring, and we played 4 now. So he's played 5 high school football games, not just varsity football games. He's played 5 high school football games. So I think his learning curve is still so steep that whenever it does click, everybody going to have to watch out a little bit.
All right, and one follow-on question. I lied. I got one more. We saw Morris as the second back off the bench. Do you plan to use Morris as the backup for BJ doing the same things BJ does, or are you going to have a special package with Morris, who's got a little bit different skill set and maybe would be better outside the tackles?
Yeah, Kendall's doing a really good job of doing the stuff we wanted to do inside. Same thing with him. He's picked up every week and done a little bit better and more comfortable, is what I would say with him, because obviously a very talented kid. We're going to get him more and more involved as the season goes on, and it might end up being more of both of those guys on the field.
All right. Very good, Coach. Appreciate you coming out. Bengals and the Panthers both won this week.
Huge.
1-0 across the board, leading their conferences. Love it.
Definitely.
We will see you on Friday night. Kickoff is at 7:30?
7:30 this week.
7:30 kickoff. Get your tickets. Come on out. We need a good crowd. This should be a great game and a great way to kick off the conference schedule. I'm Chris. This is Coach. Peace.
Welcome to the Zaxby's Coaches Show, brought to you by First Bank, Wilkinson, Chevy, Cadillac, Buick, GMC, and Zaxby's Friends, Family, Flavor. With your host, Chris Delambert, only on the NFHS Network, brought to you by New Image Media.